Welcome in to a Thursday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Ghost Chevrolet. Our friends over there, Lee Carney, Nick Richard, and the entire crew coming to you this morning from the Noodle. Matuk is here after another successful mic'd up on Wednesday, 11 to 1. You can find it Monday and Wednesday, 11 to 1. Make sure you subscribe. You can find the link easily right here on Jordy Culotta Show page. It is a Thursday morning here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We will talk to Ben Mintz. We got a text into Willie Wade, and we will also go back down to New Orleans, hopefully, and link up with Fletcher Mackel before we get out of here at 9 a.m. and talk some of the aftermath of Sean Payton's announcement, what is expected next here for the New Orleans Saints as they head into the draft season. And we will also talk a little bit about the AFC, NFC championship games this weekend. Nice watch party last night put on by Lloyd and the crew. Shout out to our guy, Sean Courtney, and everybody over at Roca Pizzeria as they showed up with a couple of pies. Noah and the crew shined them off after the game.
I mean, you can't get luckier than that, right? Coming back to just a couple of pies in the fridge already
Some
for
pies,
you.
a ton of beer.
Matuk went cold pizza for breakfast.
Yeah, I got a little slice.
A little cold
slice.
pizza.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him a hot slice one.
Yeah, I need the
We'll
hot
get him a
slice. I need the hot slice.
Yeah.
I need the hot
They
slice.
got a little hot honey oil that you got to drizzle on that bad boy.
wow,
That's
okay.
a little
Hey,
trick.
hey.
Trick.
Special.
Little Jay was in the watch party last night, got us talking about Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. That's this morning's poll question. Pretty easy when served up here early on. Ja running away with it here as Zion's just watching in street clothes. Yet again, somehow the Pelicans find superstars that never seem to wear their uniforms. They get nicknames like Street Clothes and
Look great on the bench.
Donut.
King cake.
All right, we're going to talk to Ben Mintz. It is big news. Mobile betting will be legalized and open Friday morning
Yes,
here in the
sir.
state of Louisiana. That is huge for our business. That is huge for sports watchers. That is huge for sports fans. That's big for anybody that wants to play and gamble on sports. Last night, Lizzie was watching the under. Was it hit by a half a point?
Oh,
teased.
yeah, got
Yes,
it.
a teased under.
Let's
Let's
Hey, y'all hop on board, boys. They're trying to give you points. If you want to give them to me, I'll take
Hey,
them.
I just took that 9.5. I mean, that's a
That-
gimme.
that
That
was-
was a gimme.
Man,
They're giving me that game.
I was
I don't-
right
I
there
was
with
that?
you.
I was
No
confused.
idea.
It got all the way up to.
was
It got
that?
all the way up to 10.
Yeah, it was up to 10.
I don't
Made
understand.
no sense.
I don't understand
We
that.
did. We what did we say yesterday? Like, this smells like a wonky lottery. It's like, I just don't know which way.
My Hampton bet won.
Nice.
Yeah, I had some bets.
What time
I
did
hit.
that game tip?
I hit 7, I think. But then
Eastern?
Yeah, 7
Do you
a.m.
know, do you know where Hampton is?
Still awake.
I do not know where Hampton
Virginia,
is.
huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank you,
But-
Alex. Go to the judges.
Yeah, you answer everything with a question on Jeopardy. Did
I
that
missed the
Tuesday?
Raptors by a point. I missed the Raptors
Ooh.
by a point.
Should've
It's
teased
plus-
it.
Oh, yeah, I missed it by, just by a couple points.
Life's a tease.
It was
huh,
good,
Lloyd?
though.
That's a tease,
I think that was the
especially
only
in
one I
this
missed,
thing,
though.
dude. Look at this thing.
Yeah. Looking fresh.
Yeah, thank you.
I need,
Fresh
you
out
need
of
the gold
Central.
chain. You need the gold
I
chain.
know, I
do.
forgot the gold chain. We'll do it on Friday.
And the gold pinky ring.
It's all for the weekend.
Yeah.
Will
Weekend-
Wade
that's a
is
weekend
locked
fit.
in. He will be here at 7:30 this morning, so we will talk to him about last night's win versus Texas A&M, and LSU had to have it, as we will talk all about it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Shout out to our crew, True Blue Water, for bringing you the Jordy Culotta Show daily. Also, Metropolitan Health Group on our phone lines today, which should be busy. Will Wade will be here at 7:30. Ben Mintz will be here at 8 a.m., and we're hoping to link up with Fletcher Mackel down in New Orleans before we get out of here at 9 a.m. and talk more Sean Payton aftermath after the announcement earlier this week. So a big show lined up. Let's start in the PMAC last night as LSU, as we said, were skidding in there. Losers of 3 straight. Days and Pinson, game time scratches. They were going to be out again. Eason was battling some cramps last night. Even though he gives you 25-plus minutes, he still wasn't on the floor for the real crunch time of the game, and Brandon Murray stood up.
Yep.
Eric Gaines made some enormous plays down the stretch. Sharif O'Neal again with quality minutes. But I think everybody will take away the snapshot that we'll all recall and remember is going to be this block that Gaines had at the end of the game.
So
right?
nasty.
I mean, I hate to, I'm not comparing it by any sake, but I mean, the way that he flew in and pinned it, I mean, it felt kind of like LeBron.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I mean, like Golden State, Cleveland. I mean, the way he just came out of nowhere freaky athleticism.
It's freaky. The recovery that he had to make on that because they both got caught up top on the ball screen. I don't know what happened, and nobody switched back. So
it was a wide open.
Justice was denying, and so
working hard to deny too.
A&M drew it up perfect. Like they set it up perfectly because he was denying, and so then Brandon Murray got caught. Like Justice set a screen on Brandon.
Yeah.
So and they're both caught right here. So it's just a free lane, and Gaines made a great play.
Yeah,
play the game.
Save.
Yeah.
Play the game.
Yeah, Gaines had to abandon whoever he was guarding. Just 2 steps, and it was so sudden. Like, that guy thought he had a yam to win the game.
They had two plays on that side for the game. That one, and the other one where Gaines tried to posterize, put this guy in a freaking
body bag.
Yeah.
And he hit him in the armpit and fouled him. But if he landed that,
wow, shut the
that
thing
guy
down.
needs to just go walk off and go into the
Bring the
locker
rats
room.
out.
Yeah,
That's
retire.
the roller coaster of Eric Gaines, right?
Yeah.
Like the last couple of games. I mean, you've seen kind of what it is to watch him play in consistent, extended time. But look, credit LSU last night. All they needed was a win.
Mm-hmm.
Get it however you can get it, and to be down like they were with Pinson and Gaines out again, and Eason not on the floor like we said during really the crunch time of the game. And for them to win that, to me, that is one of those wins that, you can always go back to going into the postseason, man, where you didn't have your superstars, you didn't have your guys, and it was kind of an off night. Things weren't going your way, even though, from a foul discrepancy standpoint, which has kind of been a storyline for LSU, watching them the last couple of games. LSU was at the free throw line last night 35 times compared to Texas A&M's 20, and not only was LSU there, more than A&M was, they knocked down their free throws in crucial points. They were 69% last night from the charity stripe as they shot at 24 of 35 times. They were successful, and they made it, like I said, down the stretch. Gaines was huge from the free throw line.
6 for the last 6, right?
Yeah.
He was huge. Murray was huge. They had three of their basically leading scorers out, basically with Tari Eason out at the end of the game, and Days and Pinson, and the boys closed it out, man. You're seeing Murray. You're seeing Murray grow up. You're seeing him. We already knew how good he was, but you're really seeing his offensive game. Like, okay, I have to shoot. I have to score more. I have to shoot. I have to be the guy that we can rely on behind the arc, and he was 3 of 5 last night for the game.
Brandon Murray. We keep talking about Murray, right? As this guy that you expect to maybe play better early in the season. It felt like he kind of was finding his footing over the last couple of weeks, and now he looks so comfortable out there. He looks so in control, and maybe somebody who has benefited the most out of Pinson days missing extended time, it feels like it's Brandon Murray, because now he is more assertive. Not only is more assertive with the ball in his hand, but he is now kind of demanding the ball when he doesn't have it. He's working, and even, for as athletic and as big and as well as he's built for a basketball player, he really uses his body out there. He maximizes everything that he's got on a basketball floor. Last night there was opportunities for him to post up. He was getting down on the block. He was crashing the boards. I believe LSU got 12 offensive rebounds last night, or they converted offensive rebounds to 12 points last night, which was something that I know Will Wade is stressing on the practice floor. We'll talk to him about it coming up
15 offensive rebounds.
At 7:30 this morning. 15 offensive rebounds.
Confirmation?
Yes, he's in.
You were locked in on it. You said that earlier in the show.
Nice,
That's okay.
nice,
Pay
nice.
attention, Lloyd.
Well, then you know what I was looking at. And Mintz also tweeted he's coming on the show at 8 a.m., so both guests locked in.
There we go.
Both guests locked in.
And then the latest, did we see the latest episode of The Gold Standard? Did you watch it?
I have not yet.
Okay, all right.
Is it holding up to episode 5?
I don't know if
I think
5
they
is the peak.
crescendoed
5
so
is the
early.
peak. That's the entourage, the Playboy Mansion locking up Aquaman.
Yeah.
Is that one?
Sitting in the booth.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get that one back, boys. But
That's the standard.
Yeah, this one is. You can tell how tight of a team they are. They really are and I think even stuff like this where you're missing guys over extended time, where you can mess with that chemistry, right? Because a lot of the respect of Matuk, you can speak more to this than anybody in the room, but a lot of the respect of what happens in the camaraderie of the team is how you play. You know what I mean?
Like,
yeah,
on the field, on the field, on the court, like getting through it, going through moments like last night, going through moments with the 3-game losing streak, kind of getting through these types of things. Like you gain respect for guys. You gain respect for guys like Gaines, who comes out and carries it and makes a big plays at the end of the game. You gain respect for Murray making big threes. You gain respect for Imwani coming in down, hadn't shot a 3 all game, hits the big game tying corner 3 with a minute. Like that, all of that builds chemistry because it builds trust. And you know, like, hey, no matter what's going on, my guy next to me is going to figure it out.
No doubt. Travis LeBlanc, Murray, and Gaines putting their development into overdrive. I agree. Donnie T, LSU's beating teams that they are supposed to beat. Maybe fully healthy, Don. But, I mean, if you give the scenario to Texas A&M that you're taking on LSU without Days, without Pinson, and Eason's going to be battling cramps all night and not going to be on the floor for the last 6 minutes, I guarantee you Buzz Williams thinks he's going to win that game. I was pretty impressed with Texas A&M.
Yeah,
they're a good team. They're more athletic than I thought they were. Really, I mean, some of those putback dunks and the way those guys got to the rim. I didn't know
number
that they
20,
could slash that
slam at the end of the game.
Yes.
The dude, I was like, it was like from the free throw line.
I mean, dude, he was
gliding through the
air. Who's number 20 for them?
They were very athletic, and they had a kid from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Tyrese Radford
on that team
is from Baton Rouge. I'm pretty sure.
23.
Yeah,
he was. They said he grew up 6 miles from LSU's campus,
and he was the one that had the last look. As soon as he touched it, I was like, "This cat is about to win it."
Sweating.
Yeah, Loy was sweating it for his bat.
I was just more impressed that like the ball always seems to find the person that it's supposed to. Like if he makes the shot, it's the ultimate. Like of course, the guy from Baton Rouge. And he said he never thought he'd play in the PMAC in his life.
Wow.
And for him to be able to, like, get the ball in that moment, if it goes in, it's just of course it did. It's a hat tip moment for him to become the call.
It's from McKinley.
Yeah, McKinley, dude.
Hey, Radford, welcome to the PMAC. Watch out for the rats.
Watch out for the rats. Speaking of the rats.
Tell them about your experience last night.
I'm sitting front row. Yeah, no big deal.
That's what happens when you travel with the Landwas.
No big deal, yeah. Got Didi Landwa gave me a ticket right in the front row. And we're
still
right
waiting on the call, BG.
Sitting right behind the scores table. All of a sudden, like at the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision, I see like this thing like scurrying. And I look down, it's this rat.
No way,
right?
bro.
Going from the court, because the court's like a little bit elevated.
I mean, like your feet are on the baseline, right? Like literally.
Like you're on the ground. Court. Well, no. So not underneath the goal court, like behind the scores table court. But still like.
Okay. Yeah, right.
You're still like people
calling
are
plays.
By. Right. And so. This rat runs from underneath the court to underneath the bleachers, and I'm like, oh my god! And the guy next to us like, did y'all see that? I'm like, fuck yeah, I just saw the rat run underneath. Yes, I saw it. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, all right, like whatever. Maybe it was underneath, and they heard the feet, and it was scared. It went underneath. Sure enough, 2 or 3 more rats just keep going back and forth.
It's a party.
And at this point, everybody's freaking out. People are taking pictures of this rat scared up underneath the table. Girls are getting their feet up because they're on the baseline. I'm like, boy. This is not good. This is like you can't have rats running around middle of the game.
I mean, is this a joke?
I thought he was going to get on the court. I really thought the rat was going to go.
That
would have been classic,
rat, dude.
I
was
hoping what a sales moment for Will Wade.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like timeout.
Look at this.
Look at the administration. Like,
what we got?
You squish it.
What you want me to do?
You can't squish it. You go get like a little pan, put it in there.
Yeah, feed it.
Yeah, I mean.
Throw in a piece of Roca cold pizza. See what happens.
Take off with that thing, pizza rat. I didn't know if you went full departed on that.
The first one was a monster.
Really?
Yeah, it was
King
a
rat?
big one. It was a big one. Ask Von Rosenberg was right next to him. You saw it, and he was like, "That's a monster rat."
Pick it up, put it in his
a
pocket.
huge rat. Like, get out the way, bro.
Yeah, and what timing for old Will Wade? His name's floated around with Louisville, and LSU has rats on the court.
Rats.
Yeah, leaking roof practice facilities and rats at the game on the front row.
Yeah, it was
like some arrogant rats.
You know what I mean? New York City rats.
Hey, check it out! They got a game going on. We got great seats.
Great seats.
I think that's Mikey Matuk.
It was. I'm looking.
How
like,
embarrassing.
No way.
How embarrassing.
No way. There's rats right now, and they're in there.
I mean, got to see a great game.
Yeah, they did.
At least LSU got back on the winning streak, or at least put a win together last night to end the losing streak.
You think the rats are underneath the court, and it's just like a concert? You hear
chilling.
You hear the feet go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they just want to come out and see what was going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little overtime,
I gotta go get some sunlight. We've been raging in here way too long.
We're fist pumping too much down here.
I got way too much Vicks under my eyes for this stuff right now. I gotta go get some sunlight. I mean, just that's LSU's administration has done tremendous work over the last couple of months of trying to restore order back to the campus. But I can't imagine that they have not prioritized the basketball and the facilities after stories like that, because Matuk's using this platform to tell his story, but as he said, people are taking pictures of these rats running around while LSU's playing a basketball game, and I hope that somebody is either emailing or tagging somebody on social media that is within LSU's administration that they say, hey, come on, look, this is unacceptable. I mean, if you're going to be a top 20 program in basketball and you're bringing in guys like Julian Phillips, who was named yesterday as a 5-star and a McDonald's All-American. You know the people that you had to beat to get Julian Phillips on campus to Baton Rouge? You had to beat everybody who is anybody in college basketball with better facilities, better support, more long-term vision on what the basketball program is going to look like. They don't even know if the coach is going to be here. They don't even have the opportunity to sell that the coach is stable. After 4 straight tournament appearances and 6 straight recruiting classes of a 5-star, they still haven't committed to the coach, much less the facility. But there's people sitting nearly courtside, 4 rows up from the basketball floor, and there's rats running around at people's feet. I mean, at that point, aren't you? You're messing with the customer. Yeah. You know, the Will Wade stuff and the leaky roofs in the practice facility, all of that stuff. I mean, that's internal. I mean, that's only hurting yourself by not upgrading that. But when you've got rats running at people's feet who are paying premium dollar for really good tickets, I mean, at some point, don't you have to say, all right, look, enough's enough. We've got to allocate some money and some attention to upgrading these facilities immediately for the basketball program.
Takes away from the experience, man.
It has to. It has to. I mean, there's so much excitement in that building, so much excitement around the programs, and you bring people out, you're urging people to come out, you want them to support. They get there, they sit on the front row, and they got rats at their feet. I mean, like, that who's selling what? Like, how can you ask anybody to go into anybody's office setting, lunch meeting, and ask for donations, dollars, ticket sales, and bring them that experience? It's just, I know people up there know this. And I don't think that this is out of line by saying, come on, like, let's go. Get this thing moving and support what's going on, because, I mean, at some point, no matter how good you are, if that's going to be the experience, people aren't going to buy in. They have options. People have options, and the at-home experience is too good.
Especially with the watch parties going on.
Tell you what, you don't get, though. You know who else was in the stands last night? Lil Boosie.
Wow, dude.
Lil Boosie in the stands
kid.
Last night.
Matuk, I thought you should have made a run for him when mic'd up last night.
Man, he was sitting up there.
He was pretty vulnerable.
He was right behind. I was like, damn, Lil Boosie. And then they go and they had the dance cam.
Yeah.
Right after, and they don't play Boosie.
Are you kidding?
How do you miss that? And then, but they ended up playing it the next time.
Set it off later. Yeah,
yeah, but I'm like,
rats in the gym, dude.
How do you miss that
rats in the gym
right there?
Leaky practice roofs.
But
can't even play Boosie when he's sitting on a. I bet he's a little slanted.
I got such bad secondhand embarrassment watching all because they put Boosie up on the screen, and you could tell that was the worst thing to happen to him. He didn't want that to happen. He didn't want people to know he was there.
Right.
And so then after that, one person came to take a picture, it turned into, I think there was probably 30-plus people, and he didn't stand up for a single one. He just sat there like this.
Yeah.
And they just took the pictures, and I was like,
well, this man just discovered mushrooms, so I'm sure he was in an enlightened state over there. You saw that Boosie has had a weekend, so I'm sure he is. That was the last thing that he really wanted was
Boosie,
a little bit of attention. Just trying to.
Damn, I'm glad he showed out. I'm glad he came out.
Man loves Baton Rouge.
He's from here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, where do you where in Baton Rouge?
Like 3 blocks from here.
Yeah.
He grew up on Georgia Street, G Street.
G Street.
Right over there in the bottom, which is right around the corner from us. Did you see the report yesterday that Louisville's coach, Chris Mack, is on his way out? And a lot of people kind of laughed me off a couple of weeks ago when I said that Clemson, with a new athletic director coming in, Dan Radakovich out, he took the job down in Miami. He's going back home to South Florida. They're replacing the athletic director, and it looks like the Clemson basketball program is going to get an upgrade. And Will Wade makes tremendous sense there. That's where he started. That's where he graduated from. Sure, it seems like maybe an agent might be floating that out there for a little bit of leverage. But when the Louisville job opens up and Wade's name is on a Final Four list that is a very short list that includes some bigger names than his, and I will say that. Bruce Pearl is on that list. I don't know why Bruce Pearl would even think about leaving Auburn right now. They're the number one team in the country. But Louisville is Louisville. It's in the state of Kentucky. It's a blue blood job. It's one that you can always have support. You'll always have resources. You'll always have top facilities.
Filled with a lot of scandal, though. Last, 2 coaches.
Yeah, well, Patino.
Hey. I got some white sauce for you.
Where's the finest Italian restaurant around town at?
Shut it down for about 10 seconds.
Right. I'll only need 8.
Yeah.
But Kenny Payne, who is a New York Knicks assistant coach, played on Louisville's '86 national championship team. He's getting a lot of love here. Bruce Pearl, as we said, is on the list. Nate Oates from Alabama, his name has popped up. Kelvin Sampson from Houston, his name has popped up. And Will Wade's name has popped up on a short list. And I'm telling you that this is going to start to happen more. And sure, it might have been the agent doing work behind the scenes, and he better have been, right? I mean, why aren't we paying the agents? Matuk can speak more to that than anybody else in the room can, but I mean, that's what an agent is supposed to do. I mean, he's supposed to try and get his client more money, more opportunity, and a job like Clemson should get people talking and say that Will Wade's name's kind of popping up out there. What's LSU going to do with him in his future? When Louisville starts talking about names and potential openings, and his name is even on a list that's being floated out there, I think that makes people pay attention in Baton Rouge, because it seems like it's been so far down on the priority list that, it's just kind of something, we'll get to it. But this type of stuff where you've got leaky practice facility roofs and rats running around at the PMAC, and jobs open like Louisville and potentially Clemson, where, you can go in there and say, what do you need? I want a practice facility within its own environment that has a weight room, coaches' offices, nutrition center, where the players don't have to leave. You got it. Here's your contract. It's as easy as that. Does Will Wade want to leave the SEC? No. Does Will Wade want to leave LSU? No, not in my opinion. But, I mean, at some point, there has to be support shown back to, we see what you're doing. We appreciate it. Here's what we're giving you for it. Better facilities, an extension in contract, and a possible raise. So, I mean, we'll see, man. I know that people were kind of saying, oh, yeah, like he'd go to Clemson. Maybe not. I guarantee you he'd go to Louisville. Why do you turn that job down? I mean, they give you anything you want. If you're the basketball coach at Louisville, you're the head football coach at Alabama, essentially.
Yeah. In
that community. You can get anything you want in one phone call. At LSU, it takes about 15 phone calls to get what he wants done. He can get it done, and he gets it done. Like I said, there's another 5-star in the class. Julian Phillips was named a McDonald's All-American yesterday.
Who he said is the best recruit he's ever recruited.
They're treating him like a one and done. They're treating him like a one and done. They're not, he's not treating LSU like a one and done. LSU's going to treat him like a one and done. That's the respect that they have for Phillips. But the stuff's going to get serious around Will Wade at some point. I know people can just kind of, he'll never leave. He's damaged goods. Nobody will pay attention. Yeah, right. Let him keep getting 5 stars. Let him keep cleaning up in the transfer portal. And let him beat teams where he's got rats running around the gym and he can't even practice on one side of the floor if it rains. I mean, think about the pressure that Louisville would relieve if that job really became real. I mean, the practice facility at Louisville looks like the Los Angeles Lakers practice facility. And that's not even what he's asking for at LSU. He doesn't want Kentucky facilities. He don't want Tennessee facilities. He don't want Louisville facilities. He wants Auburn and Ole Miss facilities. I mean, at this point, what he's giving you in return, it's not unfair. I mean, it's not out of line. It's past due. And has there been some BS? Yes, but there's ways that you can still language the legal contract around keeping all that stuff open, and if it ever pops up. But I mean, are we still being real about that stuff? I know it's not closed, but it might as well be, because if they have something, they'll let you know as soon as they do. They just don't have anything, and it's been 3 years. Big win for LSU last night, though. See if they can keep it going versus TCU on Saturday. Locally, we're brought to you by GoFlowIV.com. Go see my guy Brett over at GoFlow and the crew over there, Caroline and everybody, and go get some energy today. If you're looking for a little bit of an uptick in energy going into the weekend, if you need a clearer head, if you're looking for a little bit of performance to be better, whether it's athletic performance, if you're just looking for some energy upgrade, go to GoFlow IV and Spa, 7370 over on Jefferson Highway. Baton Rouge's premier medical spa who specializes in IV hydration treatments with vitamin infusion. They offer memberships over there, 3-month, 6-month annual memberships. They help you with dehydration, energy. If you just need a hangover cure, you can go see them over at GoFlow. GEAUX, FlowIV.com. Will Wade next here on the Jordy Culotta Show.
Gym rats.
Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours. daniel.newman@edwardjones.com.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Check out Go Express Auto Sales if you're looking for a used car. Stop and see them on Florida Boulevard in Sherwood Forest or online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. LSU was led last night by Brandon Murray, who had 21 but enormous outputs from Sharif O'Neal and Eric Gaines as LSU tops Texas A&M 70-64. Tigers improve to 4-4 in the conference and 16-4 overall. They'll step out of the league on Saturday and travel over to TCU to take on the Horned Frogs in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Here to talk a little bit about that and last night's win is the General, Will Wade. We stay booted up over here at the Jordy Culotta Show. Good morning, sir. A good one to you.
Good morning to you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. So it was a good win last night, one we really had to have under some difficult circumstances. So I was proud of some of those young guys for stepping up big time and helping us out.
Any way to calculate how big these minutes are in developing these guys, and like guys like Brandon Murray and Fudge, and the minutes that they're getting, and really the responsibility that they are taking on for this team right now? I mean, Murray was enormous last night.
I mean, a lot of guys played well. One guy who played well that kind of slid under the radar is Justice Williams.
Huh.
He had a couple assists, one turnover. He hit a huge floater for us. Which is kind of his shot on that baseline. And so, all those guys just getting that experience, gaining that valuable experience is huge. It'll pay dividends for us if, when and if we ever do get back somewhat healthy. But that's why you got to have depth. You got to have a lot of guys who can play and who can make things happen. And fortunately, we had just enough last night. But Brandon Murray's got such a will to win. such a toughness and a grit about him. That he makes really, really big plays for us. I thought Eric Gaines played one of his best floor games last night. Yeah. He's been getting better and better every outing. It's not always pretty, but he's been getting better and better every outing. He did he did a great job of drawing fouls last night, which is something we've been on him about. When he drives it in there to seek some contact out and draw some fouls. Obviously, Sharif hit the huge three. Yeah. Had some decent finishes. Around the rim, and Tari before he got cramps. I thought he was doing his thing and making free throws and making things happen there. So it was a total team win, and we got to turn the page quick. We played 11 a.m. Saturday morning up in Fort Worth, so we've got a quick day tomorrow. We got early morning practice tomorrow, or quick day today. I'm sorry, early morning practice tomorrow. We got to fly up there and be ready to go Saturday morning.
So you guys trust planes? No, y'all aren't going to bus over there.
No, we'll be flying up there.
Total rebounds last night, 38. You got to the free throw line 35 times. I know the physical style was something that suited y'all last night. What do those numbers mean to your performance? What did you take away from those?
Well, we offensive rebounded 52% of our misses, which is huge. So basically 1 out of every 2 misses we got. One of the things we did the last couple of days is in the past, we've sent 3, 4, and 5 to the offensive glass. We felt like we need to generate just some more opportunities. So we actually sent our 2 through 5 to the glass, which is a little bit risky because it leaves your transition defense in a tough spot because you only have your point guard back, and when the point guard drives, you only got your 2-man back. But it worked for us. We were able to dig out some rebounds. We had an extra body in there they had to account for, and that allowed some other guys to squeeze free a few times. So I thought our guys, will on the backboard was very, very strong.
Coach, when you talk about Eric Gaines and his development over the last couple of weeks, you mentioned the way that he controlled the floor last night. How has he matured as a primary ball handler for you over the last couple of games?
I thought he changed speeds well last night. I thought his decision making was solid. Could always be better, but I thought it was really solid for him. He made some big free throws for us down the stretch. I just thought he was in good control of the game and in good control of what we were doing out there last night. He had a good command of the plays and what we were doing. We tried to simplify. We only ran 6 or 7 different sets last night. Now we ran the same things over and over and over again, but they were good to us. Our guys executed them well, and we just tried to simplify what we were doing to get the ball in Murray's hands, get the ball in Eason's hands, keep the ball in Gaines's hands, and I thought we executed pretty solid last night, better than we have. We kind of had a bunch of stuff and hadn't been able to execute any of it well. At least we simplified it to a few things, and were able to really execute those few things, and I thought Gaines was a huge part of that.
Sharif played just over 20 minutes last night. He had a really big impact on the game again. How have you seen him develop since coming back from injury?
Well, he's getting better and better. We needed him to play well last night, obviously without Days, and then when Tari goes down, we had to have him. We had to have him play well. But that 3 hit was huge. Had some good finishes down there. That last play where Murray got the rebound after Gaines blocked it and they missed the 3, Sharif and Justice had one of the best blockouts you'll see all year. They knocked some guys down in the corner like bowling balls. They were hitting them so hard, and that allowed Murray to come free and get the ball. So that's the sort of stuff I'm interested in, some of the little details, some of the little things, and I thought they did a nice job with that.
The SEC has been really dominant this season. It looks like you'll put 7 postseason teams into March again, but the Big 12 has been probably as impressive as y'all's group overall. What's the challenge that you face going on the road for an early tip-off versus TCU on Saturday morning?
Well, TCU's a really good team. Mike Miles is somebody we recruited, very, very good point guard. He controls the game for them at point. He has one of the 100 highest usage rates in the entire country. And so he really, really makes things happen for him. They have a transfer ball from Memphis, who played really well the other day in their win at Iowa State the other day. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the country. Eddie Lumpkin the big-time offensive rebounder for them down there. They've got Miller, who played at Texas A&M last year. He's done a nice job transitioning over to TCU. So, the biggest thing is we're going to have to value the ball offensively, and we're going to have to, defensive rebound. That's not rocket science compared to how our team's built, but those are going to be two huge areas where we've got to be on point. We've got to be sharp.
Your health right now. I know that everybody's looking at Pinson days. Last night, Easton had to leave with cramps. Where are you? What do you expect to be in Fort Worth on Saturday morning?
Well, we'll see. I'm getting ready to meet with Sean here in just a minute, our athletic trainer, and we'll just kind of see where we are. I don't know who we'll have, but whoever we have, we'll go up there. And I was joking with the staff last night. Can we just forfeit the Big 12 challenge and get healthy for the rest of SEC play?
Right.
But if we we'll take whoever we got up there and put together a game plan, figure out a way to give the group we've got playing a shot to win. So be a big challenge for us, but we're gonna figure it out. Like I said, we'll figure out who's available, from today and tomorrow morning, and then we'll go from there and get ready to play Saturday morning.
Nice win last night for the Tigers as they improved to 16-4 on the season and 4-4 in conference play. The General is here talking about it. 70-64. They beat Texas A&M and on to TCU Saturday morning. Have a good day, sir. Thank you. Boot up.
Thanks, guys. Boot up.
Just here. There he is, Will Wade, talking about last night's win. A little bit of the status of some of the guys there as far as going into Saturday, as far as their health goes. Doesn't know who they'll have, doesn't know where they'll be from a health standpoint, but whoever they'll have, they'll be ready to go. Edward Jones brings you the Jordy Culotta Show every single day. Daniel Newman out there in Central. Stop in and see him. We've been telling you how he can help you with all of your financial concerns, questions. If you're looking for investment opportunities, Daniel has been fantastic and really kind of given some key pointers to us in investments. 225-261-8262 is the phone number where you can get in touch with him. Located out there in Magnolia Square, which is in Central Louisiana, just right across the parking lot from Stabs. Daniel Newman. Stop in and see him. Tell him you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. If you work within the plant industry, Dow, BASF, any of the spots here in South Louisiana or wherever you may be listening to us, get in touch with Daniel because he really understands that trade inside and out, can help you with any physical questions that you may be concerned over. Daniel.Newman at edwardjones.com is the easiest way just to email over a question or request an appointment or a phone call, and he'll get right back to you, Daniel Newman. And we'll be talking about possibly with Saturday, 11 a.m. tip. Maybe a little breakfast watch party.
There's a little breakfast opportunity there. Yeah,
brunch party.
Burrow on Sunday.
Oh, that's a definite.
We got anybody that could get bring some brunch and mimosas in here?
That's
I'm
what
sure that
thinking.
there's got to be some people out there that would be
City Cafe.
possible.
Brunch and mimosas. Bring it over for the boys. I love me a breakfast. Breakfast all day, every day.
I could eat it all day. Little Jay and I ate it for dinner 2 nights ago.
Some Brenner.
Brenner, yes,
Brenner.
yeah. Do you all have like a set one? Like, is it like always pancakes and whatever, or is it just whatever is in the fridge?
We did eggs, bacon,
eggs, bacon, and cheese.
Oh, you know what's been a
toast.
Great addition is they have you go to like Albertsons, or they have the shredded potatoes for like hash browns.
Oof.
Hash browns are a tricky.
Like shoestring fries.
Yeah, but they're in like next to the eggs, and like they are
in the
awesome.
package.
In the package.
Oof.
Hash browns are a tough egg to crack for me.
No,
I don't
not.
really know
You
how
don't like
to
'em?
cook. No, I like them. I don't know how to cook them
You
myself.
just gotta let it cook.
I know, it just never
cook.
seems like the
I
same.
like the diced. hash
Oh,
browns.
I like the
so
shredded.
small potatoes.
Yeah,
the
I like the Waffle House, like the shredded.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm
Hash
chasing.
brown.
I'm chasing the Waffle House.
You gotta do it on a
high.
flat. You gotta do it on like a flat top. Put some butter on the bottom of it. I know you're not a butter guy probably, but
A little, yeah.
it gives you the crunch.
No calorie olive
gives you
oil
the
on
crunch.
there. Yeah, that fake spray.
Tom Granning, no PMAC questions to Will Wade. Look, he said what he needed to say to the administration about the facilities a couple of weeks back. No need to prod and poke that.
I'm sure we're not telling him
bear.
something he doesn't know.
Right. I mean,
He's seen the rats, I'm sure.
You probably named them.
no use in pitching him a rat question in the morning.
7:45.
You could almost tell, I think, in his voice there that he was
He's exhausted.
Exhausted.
He's either exhausted or he's on to the next one, man. He's
Yeah.
about to meet with a trainer. Where do we stand? We need to get ready for TCU. I mean, He didn't like the plane joke as much as I thought that he would like that.
No, that's all right.
Hey, late game. He probably didn't go to sleep till probably 1 o'clock.
Did you? Because you talk about like the post game adrenaline, right?
I mean,
like it's hard to resettle
I
in.
didn't play in the game and I couldn't go to sleep right away.
Yeah, 2
You know what I
a.m.
mean? Like, so he's taking some time. He's probably looking at some of the. I'm not saying the full film, but he's probably evaluating some of the stuff that happened, talking with his guys, talking with some of his players, seeing if Easton's all right. Got to wake up, do the show. Goes, man's exhausted. Big win.
Run. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. See, I had some water bottle questions for him, but he didn't seem to be in the mood, so I just was gonna let him be. He nurses that thing whenever it can. I think that's like his.
It's like his
woosah.
go-to.
His like count to 10 moment. It's like, let me suck on this water bottle so I don't say anything I'm not supposed to.
It seemed like he was trying to.
He must have met with old Graber.
It seemed like he was more calm last night. Yeah. I mean, there was like they caught a back and forth between him and an official after I believe it was the charge call on Sharif, which was the worst call of the night.
Awful call.
It was the
There's
worst
two
call
of them that were
the
bad.
one at the end where they tried.
That one.
They tried to screw us.
It was amazing.
That call was trying to make A&M win the game.
Well, the other handoff was just as bad too. I'm like, what are we
shoulders.
doing? The guy is handing the ball off, and the other guy ran into him, and you're gonna call a charge? You're gonna call an offensive foul on the bigger guy? Like, give me a break, dude. But yeah, you're right. The one in the lane.
Timing on that last one.
I mean, that was a game. That's a game-changing call.
Yeah,
that's a 3-point play. That's a 3-point play that they wiped out.
But credit LSU and credit. I'm telling you, the minutes that Gaines, Murray, Fudge, all these guys, Sharif O'Neal are getting right now are going to be the minutes that's really going to sharpen them up for maybe, hopefully a March run that's coming up here for LSU, but definitely into the future. I think that these minutes really can't even be quantified to how beneficial they are for LSU right now. So good chat with Will Wade. Remember, if you missed any of it, it's always brought back to you by RMB Builders. AFC Championship game coming up this weekend between Kansas City hosting Joey Burrow, the Bengals, as they'll be there for a 2:30 kickoff.
Good weather, great weather.
Should be,
City.
right?
It's gonna be a little chilly, but
just sunny, a little sunny, chilly.
Big weather guy for the bets.
I love
it. I know. You know what? I made a decision last night. I'm going Bengals money line, boys.
Wow.
If I'm gonna put money on Joey B, I ain't betting the spread.
Yeah.
I'm betting. I'm going straight up.
Isn't it day one of betting school that they tell you to leave your heart out of it?
No, but this is just straight karma. I'm betting. I have other hedges in there that can make
Mikey
it up for it.
He's got a tough go with the heart.
Yeah.
No, I feel it. I mean, the Italian passion. That's why I'm telling you. The Italians in gambling, the reason why they're always hovering around it is because of the passion, right? I mean, at the baseline of it, you're pulling for or against somebody.
Might as well put a little shekel on it.
So, Joey B, AFC Championship game, Mikey, I feel you.
I mean, I got other bets that I
give me 200 on the money line.
I got other bets that are going to take care of it. But look, if I'm going to bet them, I'm not betting the 7. I'm betting straight up. I'm betting them. There's no point.
What's the total?
54.5.
54.5.
That's what I got.
I mean, that could be a Josh Allen Mahomes type duel. They could go back and forth like
that.
No
doubt. That's an over. I mean, Tyron, I don't know if he's going. They said they're optimistic about him playing, but I mean, I'm going over. I mean, you saw the last time they played,
right?
But I know it was in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, it was in Cincy.
Yeah,
it was in Cincinnati.
Week 17.
And they put up points, but they're gonna put up. I think they're gonna get the over.
The only thing that concerns me is Cincinnati's their lack of ability to score in the red zone, touchdowns in the red zone. And if you do that with the Chiefs, you will fall behind. They fell behind 14-0 against the Chiefs the first time they played. Like, you can't in a playoff environment where the Chiefs are rolling in the way they are. You can't substitute field goals for touchdowns.
Gotta start fast too. You want to take because the Kansas City Arrowhead's a tough place to go out in there and play. You gotta take the crowd out a little bit.
I've never been. I mean, the Superdome is loud. That's the only NFL venue I've ever been to. But there's no way when they asked Joe Burrow about crowd noise that Arrowhead can really compare anywhere. I know it's a loud stadium. I know it's a loud NFL venue. But he's played in the SEC against Alabama where the president was there. And you don't think that place was fucking rocking? They have 40,000 extra people. I just don't see how that could really be a factor for somebody like Joe Burrow that's played in probably. College football environments are much more intense than NFL environments. We talked about the people you see at NFL games are more interested in $18 Bud Lights.
They proclaim that Arrowhead is the closest to a college venue. They don't necessarily. I don't think that it's intimidatingly loud. I don't think that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are going to be intimidated by what they hear, the situations they're in on Saturday.
Cool.
They have seen it, and they've been there before. I mean,
I think it's more about the communication factor than the intimidation
absolutely.
factor. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like being able to communicate, being able to give check at the line of scrimmage, being able to hear the play call. I think that's where the noise comes into play in the NFL. In college, it's all about let me scare these young guys and make sure that they can't play.
Yeah.
In the NFL, I think it's more about communication.
You talk about communication. I think Joey Burrow wouldn't be too upset if that headset went out again. He seemed to enjoy that moment.
Let me call the plays.
This is
Love that.
He's about to be doing the Peyton. Yeah, he's going to be doing the Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Play clock, coach. Let me go.
Yeah, right. How about Jamar Chase and his comments yesterday?
Do we have enough time?
Idiot Les Miles is.
Can you believe? I can. But I'm so glad, really more now for the people that were so blinded by Les Miles when he was at LSU are having the realization of how big of just a screw up Les Miles was, whether it was his PR off the field, which has been well documented, where he was doing nothing but just chasing skirt the entire time he was here, or it is evaluating Jamar Chase, who at the time is one of the top wide receivers in the country at Rummel, and has the gall to tell that guy that he'll never make it as a wide receiver. I mean,
it shows you how inept
It
his
is-
offensive scouting was.
it is amazing to be in the profession and not even be financially rewarded like Miles is. I'm not even going to the guy was making $9 million a year or whatever he was making at the time, some stupid number that Joe Oliva gave him. And he couldn't even evaluate Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase may be the best wide receiver ever created. He may be the prototype that people look for forever. The Shaquille O'Neal of wide receivers. Guy's got it all. And Les Miles evaluated that cat and thought he was a DB. I mean, just when you think he can't get any dumber, he goes and does something like this. I mean, really, it was like him at LSU. Just when you think it's as bad as it'll ever be, he's going to do something to trump that and make you almost forget about how bad the last action was. And I'm not even trying to bring it back up, man, because I know that it's over, it's gone, and Miles has been ratted out and he's been smoked out, and people realize he's a fraud. He was a fraud as a leader. He was a fraud as a football evaluator. He was a fraud as a family man. Everything that we were sold and told about Les Miles during his reign at LSU was all bullshit. All of it. He couldn't even look at Jamar Chase and say that he was a wide receiver. Guy thought he was a DB. I mean, it is amazing to see how much money people like this have made in the coaching industry and being so bad at their job. Like, if I had to do it all over again, Coach, if I'm like Noah's age, 19.
Whoa.
I hear you.
Need him.
No, he's not going anywhere. I mean, because Noah's going to be great in this profession, you know? But, I mean, just go jump on somebody's staff, try and figure it out, make your way to the top. Next thing you know, you could be making $3 million a year.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Like, I think even if you would have told Will Wade 8 years ago, hey, man, they're going to pay you $2 million a year to coach basketball in the SEC, he'd have been like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, are you
Can I hire my best friend?
Crazy?
Yes.
I mean, could you imagine if they'd have told Ogeron 5 years ago they're going to pay you $17 million to quit? He'd be like, what?
What did I do? Nothing.
Get the fuck out of here, J-Boy.
Yes, go.
You know what I mean?
Pick up the car.
Yeah, right. I'll quit right now.
That house in Dustin's
mean,
paid off.
Just the amount of money that is being thrown around in this industry. I mean, Les Miles took $50 million from the state of Louisiana. He can't even evaluate Jamar Chase. I mean, he was trying to shove his tongue down the throat of students while he was driving around at midnight and didn't know what was wrong with it. And they were paying that guy. I mean, shit, man.
It makes you wonder who else he talked to, or maybe somebody else would walk off campus that was like, you know what, you should actually play defensive back. And like, absolutely not. Like,
no, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are in the NFL that were told they couldn't play the position that they're playing. I get that, but Jamar Chase is one of the top receivers in the country.
Coach, I mean,
did
you even have to evaluate him?
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's a guy that you see on film and you're like, two plays in, you're like, get this kid. He's in New Orleans. He's going to be the focal point of our offense in 2 years.
Yeah, but the problem is Les didn't understand offense. He didn't understand how to evaluate offense. He didn't have an idea. All he wanted to do was do the toss dive and run 2 receiver sets with 2 routes. And, hey, if your first read's not over, then you don't throw it.
How bad was that offense?
So he didn't understand how to evaluate these guys.
How good was Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Jeremy Hill, and Zach Mettenberger?
To make it look like
look like, hey, man, we can function down here. We can actually call formation and plays and spread the ball around.
Well, they didn't do that. They just called the same plays, but they were so
they were just so good,
gifted on the outside because it was 2-man routes, and that's what makes me want. Like, I wonder if he had that conversation with Odell and Jarvis. Like, would y'all like to play DB? Because we got a pretty special defense. I don't know what we're doing on offense, but I'm trying to make this game 3-0 every time we go out.
Jeez, bro.
It was
just when you can't stand that guy anymore. Like, it is like so appalling how much money he took from our state and how incompetent and dumb and just out of touch he was. I mean, it really is amazing to look at Les Miles in the wake that he's left behind at LSU and really kind of, how did he even function here? You know what I mean?
It was unwillingness to even change, unwillingness to really say, you know what? This really isn't working very, very well. Like, I probably should. Let me try to update my coaching skills and say, okay, I'm going to adapt with the changing. And he never did that, and he never could do it. He never wanted to do it, and it was stubborn. And it was embarrassing.
It's exactly who he is.
Yeah,
right. Because look at the opportunity he was handed essentially. Whenever the fan base loved him despite the offense that they trotted out there. It's
unreal.
What are y'all looking at? It was.
I mean,
that holds a spot in my heart that'll never heal.
In a year's time, he had the Ole Miss game, the Tennessee game, and the Ole Miss game where he clocked it, and he told his team to clock it. That WBRZ Cobble's camera catches him, telling him to spike it, and then he gets into the locker room and says, I don't know who told him to clock it, against Ole Miss when they screwed the clock up the first time. And then within a year, T-Bob saves his life by snapping the ball that time against Tennessee, or it happens again to him, and he got a raise after that. Like, they gave him more money after all of that. It is amazing to see how bad he was at his job and rewarded for it.
And then he didn't learn his lesson because it happened again at Auburn. Like that was essentially the final straw. Whenever they couldn't score. Remember they tried to hike the ball and they score on the last play of the game, but they couldn't get the clock.
Yeah.
They couldn't get the clock right.
Right.
And he would have saved his job again if they score.
Against Ole Miss in 2009, when he screwed the clock up the first time, or 2008 was it? I believe it was 2009 when he screwed the clock up the first time. The next week, they played Arkansas. It was the night that they wore the gold helmets when Chad Jones decapitated that kid on the goal line.
Adams.
Killed him.
Chad might have taken the worst of it, too. He had a little ricochet. He was down first thing.
Whose helmet was it? Was it Chad Jones' helmet that flew off?
They chipped the paint off of it.
It was, crushed that guy.
Him. Not
legal now. If you go back to that game, that is 1 week after they leave Oxford. That is the week after. Stephen Ridley does not get out of bounds. And there's back and forth on whether or not he is out of bounds, and they called him out of bounds. If he does not get out of bounds right there, Miles screws up the clock again. The week after, he was bailed out, and if you weren't watching the game, and it was kind of one of those late games, and everybody was, he would have done it back-to-back weeks. Are you watching this?
Everybody.
It's a train wreck. It is a train wreck on a football field where you're like, you're watching it like, oh my God, oh my God, you can't look away from it, but you're like, look how bad, look how unprepared they are. Look at just how, this is a Chinese fire drill. I mean, people are in mass chaos and nobody knows what to do. Even that stuff, calling the screen route when they needed there, they were so lost under his leadership that it is still amazing to me that there are people out there that take up for him and how much money he stole from the state of Louisiana. Not stole, that Joe Oliva signed off on for this guy. I mean, couldn't even evaluate Jamar Chase. Go Poke said Jamar would have been a better DB than Derek Stingley. Yeah, but he's an all-pro wide receiver. And he might be the best wide receiver in the league as a rookie.
Here's the thing: he would have been an unbelievable running back. He would have been anywhere you put him, he would have been really good. That's not the issue. The issue is, hey, this guy wanted to play wide receiver, and he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You let this man play wide receiver if he wants to play it.
Don't overthink it.
Don't tell him what's better for him.
Mobile betting is legal in the state of Louisiana. That is huge for our industry. We can't wait to talk to Ben Mintz of Barstool Sports, who is obviously have the sports books over at L'Auberge, both in Lake Charles and coming to Baton Rouge. It is an exciting time right now around sports gambling in our state. Ben Mintz and everybody up at Barstool is feeling that excitement down here. We'll ask him what's next as they brand up with L'Auberge, and gaming is legal here in the state of Louisiana. Remember, RMB Builders brings you the Jordy Culotta Show. Rhett Bourgeois and RMB. RMB-builders.com is where you can find them online, whether it's a custom design home, whether you want to just refurbish the home that you're in right now. You can get in touch with Rhett and his crew at rmb-builders.com. That is rmb-builders.com. We will talk to Ben Mintz from Barstool Sports next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
24 hours from now.
24 hours from now. Dude, there's 26 seconds left on the clock before he doesn't do anything. They have a timeout in their back pocket in the fourth quarter. And he waits until 9 seconds to call timeout. What were you doing? Like, were you waiting for somebody else to do it for you?
The worst of all time.
That's unbelievable. I forgot that happened. And just to watch the clock go down, like, no, we're fine. And so, what are you waiting for?
It's also the best. Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, live, driven and powered here by Go Chevrolet. As we are moving along on this Thursday, I appreciate Will Wade, LSU head basketball coach, for stopping by, talking about last night's win.
Busy guy?
As
what did you say?
Who's
Will
a busy
Wade,
guy?
busy guy?
I think he's okay.
Can he pull the card?
But yes, he can. He is
Absolutely.
busy guy. Come on.
Well, why are you saying busy guy? What did he do?
He seemed like he was at, like you said.
He was on the show, though. He was on the show, though.
I know. I appreciate him making
Busy
time.
guy, but hey, bro, can't come. Too busy.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
he just seemed stressed.
No, he's definitely he's. I think he is stressed.
Anxious.
I mean,
what
he's
if
got
you
a lot going on.
What if,
Amped
you
up.
what if you woke up this morning and they told you Days isn't quite back, Pinson doesn't know if he's going to go Saturday, and now Easton might be on ice.
Easton's gonna be back.
You know,
cramps.
like
It wasn't the best morning.
He was getting IV. Pinson was getting. I mean, not Pinson. Easton was getting IVs, and I saw him after the game taking pictures and stuff. So he's good.
He showed up on the SEC network whenever they were interviewing Eric Gaines, and they're like, "What's the biggest driving factor? How did you do your whatever?" And he was like, "Nobody believed in me." And Tari Easton grabbed him. He's like, "I believed in you," and then ran off. It's like, "Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude!"
he's good. He's just IV. though.
I believe in Ben Mintz and Barstool Sports now that mobile gaming is now legal here in the state of Louisiana, and it is going to be happening 24 hours from now, less than 24 hours
Except
from
in
now.
9 parishes.
Yeah.
What is that about?
It's
And they make
Louisiana.
a point to say, if you're in those 9 parishes, it is illegal.
That's the
Okay.
same people who didn't vote for Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. That's right.
That's right.
That's who it is.
But in
That's right.
East Baton Rouge Parish, sports gaming will be legal mobily, and it is going to be like wildfire down here tomorrow as far as this industry goes. And Ben
Apps
Mintz
are
and
gonna
Barstool
crash.
Sports
I know, I'm scared.
is fired up for tomorrow. We're fired up for it. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Oh man, I can't even tell you how excited I am. I mean, this is, since I got literally hired by Barstool, I've been waiting on this Louisiana app to drop, and it's a huge. It's going to be one of the defining things of my Barstool career. So I just can't wait to get out. I'm going to be all over Louisiana the next couple of months, getting out and taking it to the people. And I'm of course not going to say anything derogatory about our competition. 'Cause no, I'm not. I won't, because everyone knows me and knows Barstool, what we're about. We're by the people, for the people. We aren't corporate, and we're going to, the thing we offer, you get to interact with us, you get to be part of our brand and our content. We've got such a unique brand, and we got some great sign-up stuff too, and I feel really good. Baton Rouge and LSU have been such strong supporters of Barstool, so I'm feeling very, very good about it.
How have you seen this happen in other markets? How have you seen kind of the response to something like this once it goes live? Do you have any experience in this at Barstool and seeing some markets get this approved?
Yeah, so this is going to be, I believe, the 12th state. This is the first, but this is the first one that I'm one of the prominent faces of. When it goes live, everybody tweets about it. It's like a firestorm at Dave. It's the Barstool way. You just try to create an explosion as fast as you can. But this is the one. I mean, this is my, I don't want to say this is my baby, but this is it. I've got huge plans for all the stuff I'm doing this year, whether it be Mardi Gras, Hawks for the Cause. We're coming to the Final Four in New Orleans. I'm going to be all over the state for college baseball stuff too. This is what I've been waiting on, and I can't wait. I feel, like I said, I feel very good about it. We've got a Bayou promotional code. If you type in Bayou, all you have to do is bet $20 or more on either conference championship game, and if Joe Burrow throws for 1 yard, you get a free $100. And then we're also doing a risk-free bet. So if you up to $1,000, if you deposit $1,000, your first bet, you can bet $1,000 on something. And if you lose, it's on us. And if you win, it's your
That's my $1,000 bet on Joey Burrow money line.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, he can't beat that.
Yeah.
But y'all know the Barstool thing. I mean, heck, Jordy, all y'all supported it. The thing we give, I mean, you get to interact and be part of it. I mean, I'm going to, y'all could bag on me for losing, winning. I don't care. Right. I'm always here. If y'all are having any issues, DM me. And I think we are offering an authentic brand for the people that our competition aren't. And I think, honestly, all y'all are Barstool supporters, and I think y'all get it.
Absolutely do.
We get it.
Mintzy, what do you expect for the opening weekend? Was there a push? I know you can't jump into the legislative part of it, but I mean, this was a really smart push to get this done before Burrow was playing on Saturday, or on Sunday, because that'll bring great interest to this, right? Especially in this part of the world.
No doubt about it. I don't know. They keep me away from the pin gaming side of Barstool is way more on the legal side than I am, so I kind of am in the dark on that. I mean, I kind of follow it like y'all do and kind of get tidbits here and there, but there's a lot of pressure. And look, Hurricane Ida kind of knocked back when the sports gambling went live in the casinos, and then the problem on the holdup, I remember y'all were saying, Jordy, I think you told me this, was they had trouble with the software where, you know, when you're in one of those 9 parishes and you can't bet, you know, your phone has to track that. And so if you're in those parishes, you're not able to place the bet. And I think figuring out that software kind of delayed it a little bit. But I agree with you. I mean, the Bengals fever has taken over Louisiana. Heck, I mean, we're pushing the Bayou Bengals shirts from up here like crazy because of all y'all. And I agree. I'm glad they're getting it. Joke, man, I mean, they're up against it on there's no getting around it. But, I mean, you can't. I mean, you never want to doubt Joe Burrow and
Hey,
Chase.
$1,000 free bet, man. I'm putting that strictly on the Bengals. If I get my money back, give me that.
Yeah, well, if you like I said, if you lose, you don't lose. This is a catch-22 for me because everybody knows, Jordy knows especially. I have a rule that I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. It's a very firm.
How could you bet against yourself, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. Because I have a right arm that no man can ever match. If you give me 13 seconds, you're screwed. But
literally,
but no, so I'm a little conflicted. I'm a little conflicted on Sunday when my two AFC teams I'm on the bandwagon playing each other. So, but either way, in the Super Bowl will be great. I hope Honey Badger gets to play. That concussion was real bad on Sunday. I hate it.
Sounds like a hell of a Bumble description. I got a hell of a right arm, and all I need is 13 seconds.
I may be on there before you know it.
Mintzy, college baseball lines, you think? What's the over-under on that?
Yeah, no, look, I hadn't got a firm commitment on that yet. It's definitely being discussed. All I can say is the hell I'm raising for it is I know I'm annoying. I know I'm annoying a lot of people about it.
Good.
Mintzy, I need you on mic'd up talking about the college baseball lines. 'Cause I'm gonna be hammering college baseball with you, so I'm gonna be trying to.
Especially LSU baseball, man.
That's it. I'm gonna try to push it. I'm gonna try to push it down here with you, man.
I can't wait. You know, I hope in a few weeks will be that the baseball thing. Realistically, we're never gonna get lines on midweek games because it's too hard to track pitching stuff. But the SEC weekend series is what I'm going after. We had the NCAA tournament last year. I'm sure we'll have the NCAA tournament and regionals and Omaha and all that. But the key to me is the 10 SEC weekend series. Man, I don't think it takes too much common sense to realize when 10,000 people are going to games, people want to bet on it, you know?
That's right,
Pretty basic logic.
Mintzy, talk about the excitement from Barstool's point of view of something like this getting approved and just how much Barstool is really kind of influencing what's going on in these states that are legalizing gambling.
Oh, man, it's well, I'll tell you up here, the thing with working in the headquarters, the states where the app is live, the emphasis we have on those states versus ones where it's not is, I mean, I don't want to say night and day, but it's a huge deal. And now things like, you know, people always ask last year, like, why is the college football show in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Indiana? Well, that's just, the app was live. So now that the app's live in Louisiana, you're going to see Dave and Big Cat and Casey and the college football show will definitely be coming to Death Valley this fall. You know, it's a whole different deal in the states where the app is live. And, you know, on my end of it, I'm so lucky, and Jordy, you always point this out, but, you know, I'm so lucky to be the first, you know, and obviously Megan's there now too, but the first Louisiana people in Barstool. And, you know, the world needs to see Mardi Gras and crawfish pools and all the great food and music content Louisiana has to offer. And now that, you know, the app is live, that's going to get fully embraced. And I plan on doing some pretty wild stuff to take this to the people, and that's putting it mildly.
Bring the Nola shirt back.
Mintzy, let's get down to business. Who do you like this weekend? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll be honest. Gosh, I hate to. I mean, I have a Bengals 18-1 Super Bowl ticket, but I mean, they got to show. I'll just tell you, show big. I mean, it's an unreal story that they made it this far, and I don't doubt Joe Burrow, but I do doubt his offensive line. And y'all saw that on Saturday. What happened with the 9 sacks. And this reminds me of 2 years ago. Remember when Tennessee made that big run to take the Titans beat the Chiefs late in the season in like a 34-31 type game. very similar to what the Bengals just did to the Chiefs at the end of the year. And then you run through the playoffs, and I don't know, man. I hate to say it. I mean, I never want to doubt Joe Burrow. But this one's going to be tough. We'll leave it at that. On the other one, I'll lean Niners. I mean, you look at the Niners. The Niners have won 6 in a row over the Rams.
Whoa.
They own the series.
Jimmy G.
That means to me that means
I trust their running game.
To me, that means they're due for a loss, right? I mean, they can't. At some point,
bet against him.
You would think that. I don't know, man. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not sure.
Italiano.
Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, man. I mean, I'm not one of the people when the roulette wheel goes 8 times in a row red, like, hey, I got to bet black. I'm kind of looking at series histories and stuff. And the Niners had that big comeback against the Rams week 18, and I just don't think they're scared of them. And I also think that the Niners will probably have 40 to 50% of the crowd there on Sunday, too. I don't think the home field's going to be much. I certainly trust Stafford and a lot of the Rams more than I trust Garoppolo, but I think it's more of a matchup thing. I am watching the Niners injury report real close, though. They are pretty dang beat up. I mean, they've been on the road playing for their lives 3 weeks in a row, going back to L.A. week 18. But
Debo's knee going to be okay?
What's up?
Debo's knee going to be okay?
That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
I hope so. If he's out, I'm out. Garoppolo has given them. I mean, literally, Jimmy G's tried to blow all 3 games
easy
himself, and they've won despite him. And that's it's just crazy.
Ben Mintz joining us here, who has been growing the game in his first college baseball season up at Barstool Sports, and did a tremendous job up there. And now with the legalization of mobile gaming down here in Louisiana, really looking forward to the next couple of weeks and months and what that's going to look like here for Ben Mintz and Barstool Sports. Mintzy, what did you think about the news earlier this week with Sean Payton announcing that he is stepping away from the New Orleans Saints? That is somebody who is pretty revolutionary and iconic within the city of New Orleans and the franchise. Somebody that's very identified with them.
Well, I started hearing about it on Friday, and it's one of those things where, you can't. I mean, I'm not mad at him. I mean, Payton gave 16 freaking years. I mean, y'all know how the coaching profession is. I mean, you never see coaches a 4 or 5 year deal usually. And, a lot of people thought that Payton era was going to end in 14 through 16 when the Saints had the 3 straight 7-9 seasons when the offense was great. They couldn't stop anybody. So I'm very sad. I'll be honest. Y'all are all Louisiana people too. My friend group and we started sending out all these old pictures and stuff. And I'm sure y'all saw them that I posted online of the 06 NFC title game in Chicago and at the Super Bowl in 09 and 18 NFC title game and stuff. And I got a little sentimental looking back on it all. I mean, hell, I was 22 when Sean Payton and Breeze got here, and I'm 38 now. I mean, that's the prime of our lives.
Yeah.
And that part of it, the finality of it, is tough. And what's tough as a Saints fan is, I think the organization still could be very good. I mean, stability with Loomis, especially if you keep Ireland. And, I don't hate if Dennis Allen becomes the head coach and you keep Carmichael. And I'm fine with it. The problem is, we could be good, but it's tough when the best days are behind, and it's going to be very hard. The Drew Brees-Payton combo is going to be very hard to recreate. So it's kind of not angry but sad. And then the thing with the Saints, too, and you can't blame Payton for this, Brees is getting older, but they've gone all in to win every year. And so the salary cap situation's bad because it's been win-now mode forever. So, I don't think it's a full rebuild because the defense is so good, but, it's not it ain't all roses. It's tough. And I think Payton, from what I'm hearing from my sources, he's getting offered this huge bag to go into broadcasting for a year or two, more money than he was even making as a coach. And I think he's going to probably do that for a year or two, and then you'll see him take another job, and hopefully it's not the Cowboys.
That was my question. That was going to be my question. Is I know he hasn't closed the door on coaching, and he doesn't seem like he's retired. He just wants to take a little break. He can't go to Dallas, man.
That's where he's going, bro.
I know that's where he's going to go, but he just. I don't want to not like him, and I'm not going to not like him. I'm always going to like him, but I hate Dallas, and I don't want him to go to the Cowboys.
Is Billy Napier going to Florida?
No, it's worse than that.
Worse?
Really?
Worse than that.
Wow.
I thought he was playing for the Lafayette Heartstrings.
Worse than that.
You can't. The Napier thing's different.
Right.
Napier wanted LSU, and LSU didn't want it.
Exactly.
You can't blame him You can't
Exactly.
blame Napier. That's a different
Well, you
situation.
can say
It's gonna
Saints
be-
want Sean Payton. He didn't want them. It's the same thing.
I'm just scared it's gonna be like the Saban thing that said you know what I went left for a year, tried something different, didn't like it, came back. I don't have the opportunity anymore. Go somewhere else, and we saw what we had. Now he does it somewhere else.
Well, I mean, the biggest fear is him going to another spot and
winning-
closing.
and multiple
Closing
winning
Super
multiple
Bowls.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Saban
Elusive.
reference would be like if Peyton came out of the booth and like went and coached Atlanta. You know? What
Yeah,
I mean?
right.
I mean, that would
Yeah,
be brutal.
that may be worse than Dallas.
Right. All right, Mintzy, very exciting times, bro. Like, what's the next 24 hours going to be like? What's tomorrow going to be like?
Well, today, so I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with Hugs for the Calls, like I mentioned in New Orleans, April 1st and 2nd. And I'm actually taking a little barbecue road trip to Hoodoo Brown in Connecticut today, which is part of it, which is one of the top barbecue places up here. We're going to do some content. And I'm going to be all over media, all over Louisiana the next 24 to 48 hours. And you're going to see some videos, and then our graphics team. I'm sure y'all see all the stuff Quig does. I mean, y'all see what y'all think of Dave with
Is unbelievable.
y'all see Dave with the Burrow.
Yeah.
I think we got some wild stuff coming on that front. But we're just going to try to do it the Barstool way, and that's attack as hard as we can on social media. And I can't wait personally. They're giving me. Dave point blank said when Louisiana app opens, we're giving you the green light to do what you want. We believe in you. So that means y'all gonna be seeing a lot of me.
Hell yeah!
I'm really looking forward to Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Hook us up with that Barstool app, baby.
Yeah.
Ben
Promo code
Mintz.
Jordy01.
That's right. The from Barstool Sports, the man right now as far as sports gaming being mobily legal now here in the state of Louisiana, as Barstool Sportsbook has offering right now this Bayou sign up offer. That's the promo code Bayou. Sign up using that code Bayou, and you bet $20 plus cash on any conference championship game this weekend, and you'll get $100 if Joe Burrow throws for 1+ yard. We'll take that.
We'll take that action all day.
Bayou is the promo code. Mintzy, this is going to be a great time, man. Thank you for being on our
I can't
show.
wait. Look forward to continuing to build with you guys for sure.
Absolutely. There he is, Ben Mintz, checking in from Barstool this morning.
Yeah, Vintage Mintz. Let's
Yes.
go.
What do you do?
It sounded like
It's always something. It's
Instead
always
of a
just a
throat
little
clear.
off the phone. Just a little something that just makes everybody happy.
Has anyone pointed out your mock turtleneck? By
Oh,
the way?
yeah.
Speaking of
Oh,
things
yeah,
that
yeah,
make us
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Is it a mock or full? Is that a?
I gotta ask
What's
Noah.
the difference?
Did you pick that up just for the show today, or did you already have that?
Noah, bro.
Noah and I
Noah.
collabed on this
Noah.
thing.
What's the difference between a mock and a
The
full?
mock is like
Half
it comes
neck.
up half neck.
Is this
And then
mock?
the full
Nick
usually
Saban.
like you turn it down. I mean, fold it down.
Bond
What's your
Bill
thought?
is
What's your
full.
thought on those?
Yeah.
What's your thought
On
on
what?
turtlenecks?
I don't really have a thought. I mean,
Like
they're
what if you
fine.
saw a guy wearing a turtleneck
First date,
with
turtleneck.
a jacket with a jacket on top of it? Is that a tough look?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
tough look.
Dating
Sorry.
Canal.
That is
Not
a
for
tough
me.
one, bro.
It's a tough look.
Danny Cannell
take a
tried to yeah.
I'm looking for Katie. She's not here.
She's not here right now.
Oh, that's my twin sister. She's gone.
You must have just missed her.
She
She
has
thought she
COVID.
was meeting you at the restaurant. You better hurry up and get there.
Oh man.
The ultimate. I gotta take this call. And
Yeah.
there she goes.
Yikes.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk to Fletcher
done that?
Mackle.
What?
Have you done that move?
I have.
What?
You've done it?
Skirted on a date like that?
Oh, I've been in the day, but texting my boys like, hey,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
call
right.
me at this
Yes,
time and
100%.
let me make sure if it's good, it's good. If it's
100%.
not, I'm gonna act like you're
Yes.
panicking and come
Yeah.
pick you up.
Absolutely.
Especially when you don't
What's
know
the
the
safe
person, you're
word?
not sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for
We
sure.
were telling stories about that yesterday, but
Get me out of here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
That's why I met people like mostly at the restaurant.
Oh, you didn't let
Yeah.
the guy bring you. That's nice.
Like after
That's
like
an easy
in my
out.
adult
Yeah.
life, like
It's an easy
after
out.
divorce, not like when I was younger.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Then you can look in and see, is he wearing a turtleneck?
Yeah.
Because you almost have to plan for the worst,
You do have to.
Yeah.
right?
no idea.
You don't low
expect the worst.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Keep the
No, you're
expectations
cool. You
low.
can complete a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
ready.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
I'll
It's
stick
great.
around.
Yeah.
I
I was looking for the exits
to
around
me,
here.
it's
I
just
might
like
stay for a
I hear
minute.
all these horror stories from people who went on dates with dudes that are like, I'm like, I just don't understand like how guys are so stupid
Y'all
sometimes.
get
on
crazy
dates.
weird sometimes.
Yes, I understand
They're
that.
so
really
horny
do.
to be out there that
Yeah.
it's like this might be the chance. That's you
Coming
know,
from y'all, thank you.
yeah.
Right? Y'all tell us we're crazy all the time. Like, I mean, y'all can be real crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Real crazy.
Oh, there's
Had
no
some
denying
crazy
that.
stuff
Yeah,
happen.
we're just trying to get the demons out, and then they'll be real normal right after.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "This guy's boring."
Or not, or we're more crazy.
It's communication strategy. That's what I say. Trying to get it all out there. No secrets here.
No secrets.
That's right.
The best way to
All
be.
right, we're going to talk to Fletcher Mackel coming up here in a couple of minutes. We're going to ask him about the impact, obviously, of the announcement of Sean Payton stepping away from the Saints. What could be next? Dennis Allen feels like he is going to be the next head coach. And as people have said here this morning, I'm good with that. I think that is probably the best case scenario for the Saints, is try and keep the culture of what has been cultivated by Payton and really groomed through his coaches and personnel moves together as long as possible. But as Mintz pointed out, I think it's a great way of looking at it. The best days are behind you. It feels like.
When he said it that way, it really kind of stung. It made
I
me
agree.
realize that,
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like
you're not going to be
Mikey
able to find
optimism
that again, right?
I mean, maybe not the same. Like for the same like length of period, but to say that the Saints aren't going to be able to have like sustained success, I don't think that's the truth. Like,
Yeah, I don't either.
You know,
It's pretty
like
gloomy.
Ooh.
I think that the organization now, you're not going to get the same thing that you got with Sean, because Sean meant so much to the city when he first got there. He completely changed the whole dynamic of New Orleans and of the organization. The organization now is in a completely different situation than it was the last time we hired a head coach. And I'm not saying the next guy is going to be as good as Sean Payton or have the 16 years of sustained success that Sean Payton had.
But he could be.
But he could. You know, the likelihood of him doing that is a lot higher than the likelihood of Sean Payton coming in the first time and doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not one to say, oh, no, it's all doom and gloom. I'm not saying it's going to be great right away, but I'm saying that it's not impossible.
The transition of power rarely works, right? Like when you go
Yes.
from within, it's a
Skip
very,
Burtman to Smoke Laval.
right. It rarely works.
Yeah, but or you look at the Steelers. They've had 3 head coaches, transition of power 3 separate times, and it's all been success.
Yeah, but have they all been on each other's staff? I don't think that Mike Tomlin was on
Cowher staff.
Cowher's staff.
No, but I mean, we don't know that they're going to hire within.
Well, Dennis Allen would be.
Yeah, but we don't know that. I mean, that's
There's
everybody's
like 5
hoping
of
for,
them.
but you don't know who they're going to hire.
Who's the other guy that is at Detroit now?
Dan Campbell. Man
Campbell.
No, not him. There's someone else on the list
Jim
that worked at the
Caldwell?
Saint that was at the Saints until 2020. He's left for a year. He could come back.
Offensive coordinator Lombardi.
No, I'm gonna have to look it up now.
I'm not
He's
sure,
like
but
second
Will
on the
Lutz,
list.
Will Lutz said that a lot of people within the club, within the locker room, like kind of would like Dennis Allen to be.
Because you don't want
in there.
you don't want to shift the culture.
Because that
immediately.
was the whole thing. Is you see the culture in the club, in the locker room is so good and so strong that's like they don't want to change that, which I understand. You know, maybe you have a 2-year, 2 to 3-year transition period.
Aaron Glenn.
Glenn, former defensive backs coach.
Yeah. Yeah, like wouldn't that make sense? He's only
Maybe,
been gone
but
for
I
a year.
mean,
He comes
he was
back.
on Dennis Allen's staff.
Maybe the DC.
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
be. Well,
Maybe-
they're probably
But I
going to
think
do the
that
D-line
I think
coach.
that really Sean.
That's what I
I
said.
think Sean
Nielsen.
Payton told Ryan Nielsen
That's
a
exactly
couple
it.
of years ago when Ogeron was trying to bring him on as DC. Just be patient.
That's exactly what I think happened. He'll get promoted. That's, you know, I mean, Carmichael's still there. The offense.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the guy that can be under center. If you can find a guy under center, then you can have that sustained success.
It's almost like what Notre Dame did. You want to rise a guy up and keep the rest of your staff intact. Like you want to keep Carmichael on his OC and be like, all right, we're going to run this thing together. Like don't go look at, because he's on a short list for a number of NFL jobs.
He hasn't left. I mean, I guess,
right.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
They're Brent Venables. Some people just don't leave until they do.
Yeah.
But you can hope they can kind of stick this thing out and not be entire rebuild.
It won't be an
because
entire rebuild.
You see how hard it is to win in the NFL. And you mentioned the Steelers. The reason that they were able to do it like that is because their ownership is so strong.
But you'd have to argue that the Saints are known within the NFL as being one of the best, most well-run organizations in all of football, which is 16 years ago, it was the opposite. And now they are one of the best well-run organizations. And they have everybody in their front office is getting poached because of how good they are with the salary cap. And all of their offensive and defensive minds now are getting poached because of how good they have been. So, you know, the guys that they have there, like instead of being poached, now they're there. Now they're going to get promoted from within. Like I just think that it's possible for them to, I'm not saying they're going to be Super Bowl champs in the next couple of years, but they have a chance to make a good run. You know,
Sorry,
go ahead.
Jimmy Magoo says elevate Allen and hire Dan Mullen as OC.
No.
Pete
Carmichael.
Why?
Keep Pete Carmichael.
Why?
Why would you change the offensive coordinator? Why would you change it?
Why not?
We're talking about the
chemistry.
we're also talking about the chemistry, and that would definitely not be good for chemistry.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean, you get to keep the Jays on staff. Dan Mullen's got a closet full of Jordans.
And
we get to get a couple, spread some COVID
it doesn't
around
matter.
New Orleans
It all
mouth kisses.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players.
It all depends on who you
kiss.
get it under center. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
That's what the thing is. This is an entire it's a new era.
Hey,
almost.
I'll tell you this though.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you this. You go and you get someone under center and you get a good quarterback. That's good. Maybe Sean comes back in 2 years and say, you know what?
Peyton Manning,
maybe
Andrew
we come
Luck.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ride a wave.
Absolutely.
I mean,
look
find
what
the right guy.
The Colts had one bad year, right? In between those, that's when they got the number one overall pick. And it was like everybody knew when they had the number one overall pick. They're like, man, this isn't a team that should have the number one overall pick. They had a bad year because they have injuries. They had Peyton Manning got hurt. He's not there anymore. Okay, let's go draft Andrew Luck 1 overall because everybody else around us is still good. And now instantly after that, they were good again.
The stories of Andrew Luck going to the first practice. He graduated he didn't go to the original OTAs, and then he shows up to the next practices because he wanted to graduate from Stanford in architectural engineering. But he showed up the first day and was changing plays at the line of scrimmage, and the rest of the offense I don't know what the hell he's talking about. They hadn't looked at the playbook yet, and he was making line adjustments on the first day he was there. And they're like, oh, I think we're in good hands here. We got Peyton Manning again.
Right.
And I don't know where the Saints can find that though. They might have to stink this year. And
here's the deal:
next crop
is you're not going to be able to find a coach that is going to be able to go 9-8 with the team that they had this year. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Job.
That's the difference, right? But there's a lot of very, very smart and very, very capable coaches that you can get, but you also have to have the guy under center, right? There's not many people that can do what Sean Payton did this year with the team that he had, the injuries that he had, and that's a credit to him for building the chemistry within the locker room, and that's a credit to his offensive genius, and that's a credit to Dennis Allen for being so good on the defense side of the ball.
You don't think Dan Mullen can develop a quarterback?
No. Who did he develop in Florida?
I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about Dak.
Okay, Dak, one guy. And that's more about Dak than Dan Mullen, I think.
Oh, man, I can't even 100%. say anything.
Kyle Trask had one.
I don't even know why I attacked.
No, I love Dak. I think he's a great quarterback. But, I mean, you can't would you give Dan Mullen that credit or Dak that credit?
You can't give Les the credit because he wanted to play tight end.
I think Dak did. I mean, maybe Dan Mullen helped, but that's all Dak to me.
We will talk to Fletcher Mackel next here about the New Orleans Saints and talking about what could be next for Sean Payton as he could be moving to the television booth and who's going to step in next for the New Orleans Saints head coach. We'll talk to Fletcher Mackel next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Go Dak.
I just think Dan Mullen has just too much bad juju around him. I don't think players like him. I don't think players like him.
A-Bears, do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Shout out to our crew over at Cajun Ready Mix. Remember, CajunRMC.com. You can find them online if you're looking for them. You can find them 9 plant locations around the Baton Rouge area. So if you order concrete, they'll be to you on time and to the exact specification. Get in touch with Cajun Ready Mix, CajunRMC.com online. All right, huge story earlier this week. Sean Payton announced he is stepping away from the New Orleans Saints. It is tough to really describe the impact that Payton has had not only on the franchise but the entire city and Gulf Coast during his 16-year run with New Orleans. They were 3-13 the year before he took over. Drew Brees and a couple of NFC South titles and NFC championship games and a Super Bowl run. Peyton called it time to step away earlier this week. Fletcher Mackel has been there the entire time and is down in New Orleans. We talked to Mackel here a lot from WDSU, the NBC affiliate down there in New Orleans. He joins us now here on the Jordy Culotta Show to talk about some of the aftermath and what could be next for the Saints. Fletch, good morning. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me as always. I appreciate it, Jordy.
Always, man. Fletch, when I think about the city, you're one of the faces and names that kind of comes like you're a New Orleanian. You're a proud New Orleanian. You were a Saints fan, always have been a Saints fan, been through the good times, the bad times, all the struggles and the high points. From your point of view, what was the impact? Could you describe the impact that Sean Payton has had on the franchise in the city?
I mean, look, he changed it forever in a positive way. And he said it at his press conference, and we did a lot of coverage that day. All the stations here, just to let you know how big it was in New Orleans. All of the 4 affiliate stations went into wall-to-wall coverage. We usually only do that for an event like Mardi Gras every year on Fat Tuesday, or if there is a storm bearing down and it is a public service. But just to let you know the significance of Sean Payton, everyone went into wall-to-wall commercial-free coverage, and we were on the air for 6 hours talking about Sean Payton stepping down. So just from a news perspective, the significance of that story, it was pretty huge. But he said this during his 90-minute press conference, and it's true, and I say it, and I get emotional talking about it because, as you said in your intro, I was born and raised in this city. I live here. I love it. I care about it. I want it to be great. When so many people were running away from New Orleans, Sean Payton and his family ran in. So did Drew Brees. And not many people wanted to do that. There were so many reasons not to come. He could have easily waited for another NFL job. People forget. He passed on the Oakland Raiders job the year before because Parcells told him it's a bad organization, it's a bad operation, don't go there, better jobs are in your future. They could have easily told him the same thing about New Orleans. A historic loser, lovable loser, but a loser is an organization in a city decimated by one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history, yet he still came. And there's people that the rhetoric doesn't always, coincide with reality or become reality. People talk about going to organizations that need to be rebuilt, to operations that need to be rebuilt, that have hit rock bottom. This organization was at rock bottom when Sean Payton walked in, and he took it to the highest of highs. So forever he will be woven into the fabric of this community because that team and organization is so intertwined with the city of New Orleans and Southeast Louisiana.
Do you expect TV next for him?
I would say probably so. I think he's going to coach again. To think that he's not going to coach again is crazy. Mm-hmm. Where he lands will be interesting because if he, in 2023, 2024, 2025, if he lands with the Cowboys, that's going to make people cringe. Yeah. If he lands with like the Chargers or the Jets, I think people kind of yawn and say, see you every 4 years, every 8 years in New Orleans. Thanks for what you did for us. But I would say, sure, I think that he'll end up on TV this fall and maybe reassess football and coming back in 1, 2, or 3 years. But I do think at some point, he's 58. I would say around 60, 61, we're going to see Sean Payton returning to the NFL as a head coach.
If he returns to the NFL, what happens with, because the Saints still have his rights until 2025, correct?
4. I think it's 4. I think it's 3 more years through the 2024 season. So he would be able to go with no type of compensation for the 2025 season. But look, here's the thing: Bruce Arians was still under contract when he retired with the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa had to give them compensation. And again, look, if Terry Fontenot, who was a longtime executive here with the Saints and is a great guy, he took over the Atlanta Falcons. If next year he wants to hire Sean Payton, I'm pretty sure the Saints are going to block that or ask for compensation that is just something that would be
astronomical.
out of the realm of possibility. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to go, if Mike McCarthy struggles next year and the Cowboys don't meet expectations and Jerry Jones wants to go get him, I'm pretty sure the Saints are going to stand on them for some significant compensation. If in a year or two he wants to go again, I use a team like the Chargers because I think Sean always has had an affinity for L.A. His daughter lives in L.A. and Justin Herbert is a franchise quarterback. If he could go to the Chargers, I'm pretty sure they'd be amenable to compensation that is fair, say a mid-round pick, a second or third round draft pick, and they could move on and say he wants to go back to coaching. But if he wants to get back, I certainly think in the next 3 years the Saints would receive a compensatory pick from a team in some capacity.
I can stomach the Chargers. I can stomach the other two.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, and here's the thing. Who knows what the landscape of the NFL is going to look like each and every year? I mean, look, there's 8 head coaching vacancies right now. Nobody would have seen the horrible situation coming down the road with John Gruden. Nobody would have seen Sean Payton retiring, in essence, from the NFL. I think certain jobs you can target just guys on the hot seat. You know, last year we knew that Matt Nagy was on the hot seat in Chicago. So next year there'll be coaches on the hot seat. But who knows? Does he want to take just 1 year off? Does he want to take 2 years off? Who knows? So, but eventually I do think it will be hard to keep him. Is just not that he and I are the best of friends, but I have covered him since the day he walked in here. Knowing how competitive he is and how much he loves this league and how much he loves the idiosyncrasies of being a coach in what comes with that, I would be utterly and completely shocked if in between 1 and 3 years he is not back in the league as a head coach.
Yeah, and because of everything that you just laid out and how well respected he is as a coach in the NFL, probably one of the top 3 or 5 coaches in the league. Won't the Saints have to ask for something that you mentioned astronomical? What is the actual asking price that you could put on Sean Payton to where you would actually allow him to walk to the Cowboys or walk to insert team to where you'd be like, all right, we're getting enough value here that it's worth Sean Payton, being able to return to coaching, because you're giving up a massive asset. And one of the most important thing in the NFL is coaches and quarterbacks.
Sure. What I'd say about this is the Saints, he and Mickey Loomis are very close, and he talked about that in his press conference that I've referenced already. They've become very close friends. They were in each other's weddings, and so he has a good relationship with Gail Benson. They know what Sean Payton has meant to this organization. I mean, he is not single-handedly responsible, but he is one of the 2 driving forces behind turning this entire operation around from how he operated. It affected everyone. They are not going to keep him from coaching. So they are not going to, again, make it where it becomes a nasty situation and it ruins relationships. But I would say this, if it's a team that they are highly competitive with, if it's a team in the NFC South, if it's a rival in the NFC like the Cowboys, I would certainly say they're going to ask for more significant compensation than if it was a team in the AFC or if it is a team that they don't feel is a direct threat to what they have, but they will let him go coach. So what is fair compensation? Look, this is just me spitballing. Again, if Saleh with the New York Jets has another bad year and Woody Johnson, their owner, wants to say, I can get Sean Payton. He was an assistant with the Giants. He loves New York. I think Sean is looking, Sean has always liked glitzy cities. He definitely has had an affinity for LA. He speaks very highly of his time in New York, working for the Maurer family, being in the Big Apple and the media and the exposure. So if one of those teams came calling, I think you could settle on a second or a third round draft pick, a third or fourth, or maybe a second, and it could be done very quickly, just like it was with Arians in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, if it's a direct competition, a team like, everybody's going to look at the Cowboys next year and see what happens with Mike McCarthy. I would certainly say the Saints are going to, ask them for a first round draft pick. Now, will that happen? I don't know. Maybe it's a player in a second round draft pick, but I certainly think it's not going to be, you know what, Sean, we're just letting you walk scot free and we're not going to get anything in return. There will definitely be some type of compensation wherever he decides to coach next, whenever that is. And again, look, maybe he takes 3 years off and comes back when he's free and clear from his contract. I find that hard to believe. I would say it's probably going to be within 1 or 2 years. He, gets his breather. He feels rejuvenated. He misses it and he wants back.
Fletcher Mackel joining us here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I don't know. I think if he would have gone to one more Super Bowl, I called him this the other day during our coverage. I think he's a fringe Hall of Famer. I think he absolutely, positively, you can make an argument for him right now, and I think there's a chance he gets in right now. But he's not a slam dunk. Obviously, Drew Brees is a first ballot slam dunk, no questions asked Hall of Famer. If Sean Payton had broken through in 2011 for that great team they had, the offensive juggernaut that they were, better than the greatest show on turf Rams, I think that he's in. If they break through in 2018 on the Nolan no call, I think he's in. I think getting to the top of the mountain one more time, and if they would have won another Super Bowl and he had a second Super Bowl championship, I would have answered your question in a millisecond of yes. But right now, I think that he's close, but I don't think he's a slam dunk just yet.
What's next for the Saints? How do they operate moving forward, in your opinion, and what's the timeline on replacing him?
I think it would be a huge shocker to everybody that follows this team and covers this team if Dennis Allen isn't the next New Orleans Saints head coach. I think that they're certainly going to go through the process. They're certainly going to interview a lot of candidates, and they're certainly going to contemplate an out-of-the-box hire, or do we need something different? But this is a clandestine group over there that has been together a very long time. Gail Benson married Tom in the early 2000s, so she's been a part of their hierarchy for 2 decades. Mickey Loomis came on board here. You remember, first as the assistant general manager and the capologist in 2000, took over as the full-time general manager in 2002. So he's been here for 22 years, 20 as the general manager. Jeff Ireland has now been here going on 7 years as the assistant general manager. Dennis Lauscha, the president of the organization, goes back to the 90s with the Bensons. These are people who, again, like a level of comfort and familiarity. And Dennis Allen checked so many boxes for them. He was on Sean Payton's first staff from 06 through 10. He came back after stints with the Broncos and the Raiders. He's been back since 2015. He's interviewed for head coaching jobs. The players like him. The hierarchy has a familiarity with him. So I just think when they look at it, they're going to say, Dennis, check. What else are we looking for here? Like, again, they could talk themselves into someone else. And I'm not saying there aren't other good candidates. And I'm not saying Dennis is going to be the next Sean Payton who's going to go win a Super Bowl next year. I like Dennis Allen. I think what he's done with the defense in recent years is really good. I think he deserves another chance as a head coach. I don't know, because look, his first stint was really bad with the Raiders. He was really bad as a head coach there. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he learned and he's gotten better and he's been part of a good organization with a good head coach in Sean Payton, and he's deserving of a second chance. And I think it would be a major shock if it's anyone but Dennis Allen.
If the Saints do go outside the box, I agree with you, by the way. I do think Dennis Allen makes sense and it fits the culture that you just described. But if the Saints do go outside the box, what is the feeling or the tenor around the Saints as a professional, like as a head coaching job? Because it feels like a lot of the success is tied to Sean Payton and Drew Brees. When you look at the rebuild going around it, is that allure still around New Orleans, or is it something that they look like I don't really want to touch that place?
So I think what they've built is sustainable right now. I think whoever comes in, look, the most important position in NFL football is quarterback, and they don't have a quarterback. They were in quarterback purgatory last year. So that is the one thing they have to figure out. Had Sean Payton been back, or whomever the new coach is, I can't imagine they're going to want to go into a season with Jameis coming off a major injury, Taysom coming off a major injury, in all-out competition with those two, maybe Ian Book. Do we draft a guy? The unknown was – I was blown away that they went that route last year, and I would be utterly and completely shocked again if, one, Dennis Allen isn't the coach, and two, they haven't rectified their quarterback situation with a clear path going forward. But I think overall, you look at this organization, and I've seen it from its lowest of lows. I mean, they were a laughingstock organization that couldn't do anything right, that nobody took seriously, that even if they got into the playoffs, you kind of yawned and said, well, the Saints aren't going to do anything. And now Sean Payton and Drew Brees built them into – they are looked at in league circles as one of the gold standard organizations with how they operate. When I go to league meetings, I am blown away by the way people talk about the Saints and what they have done and how they operate. And so you don't really see it until you get to some of these national kind of events like the owners' meetings and such. But right now they are looked at an owner who doesn't meddle, a general manager who lets his coaches coach. They spend money on players. I mean, look, the Saints convert more salary to signing bonus to restructure deals to manipulate the cap than any team in the NFL. And I know that people talk about they're in a cap situation every year, but you have an owner that says, great, give them the cash, convert their salary to signing bonus. That's a good thing to have. So I think the coach coming in is walking into a pretty good situation. There's a foundation for success. Now, could it crack and erode and crumble with the wrong coach? And we'll see how much Peyton was the backbone of this. We'll absolutely see that. But I think the coach is coming in on a pretty solid foundation. Again, you're missing a big piece with the franchise quarterback, but the rest of the organization is in pretty healthy shape right now.
You were at the first press conference. You were at the last press conference. Is there a moment in between those two times that stood out more than others when you were covering Peyton that was a lesson, was a moment that you'll say, I'll remember this in covering him and saw his genius up close?
That's a great question. I probably should have thought about that over the last few days, but I think we've all been working so much. It's just been in the moment. The one thing that I remember was following the 2015 season in 2016, there were all these rumors about Sean Payton flirting with other teams. Does he have wanderlust? Does he want to go? He had just wrapped up. That was following the 2015 season. That was his 10th season in New Orleans. So he was going on his 11th year, his 10th season, and just finished his 10th season. And there were real conversations with San Francisco. I was told off the record that people will never know how close he came to becoming the Niners head coach. They just couldn't work out the compensation. And he and his agent and his management team definitely had a wondering eye of, have I done enough for New Orleans? Is my voice still being heard? Do I still resonate? Does this team still connect with me? And at the end of the day, they had the big brand press conference, just like they did 2 days ago in 2016. And Sean Payton had some great quotes, and he doubled down on New Orleans, saying that, a lot of coaches leave, and his mentor, Bill Parcells, was a jumper from market to market, never staying in one place very long. But he said, I want to be here. And he had a great line where he said, I'm going to stay until these fans are chasing me out of town with their torches, ready to burn my wagon down. And so I thought then and there, that's it. He's going to be the coach here for 20, 25 years. He's embedded in this community. He moved from the North Shore in the suburbs to uptown New Orleans and was always at these institutional restaurants and out in the community and stuff. So that was the turning point for me, where I thought any of this chatter is all fake. It'll never happen. He's now a New Orleanian, and he's going to coach this franchise until he wants to leave the NFL. And so that was kind of a turning point moment for me. And that's why I think this caught a lot of us locally off guard, because we'd always heard the chatter of every time Dallas and Jerry Jones get unhappy, oh, Sean Payton. Or every time there's a mega opening, oh, Sean Payton. Or, a TV gig, Sean Payton. But it was never real. That's why I think it took a lot of us a little bit by surprise when he actually said, I'm stepping away, I just need a break. It's just time. And I understand the last 2 years have been exhausting. I've seen it with COVID and the injuries. The last 2 years feel like 7 years. So I do think he needed a break, knowing how hard he worked. But that's just one moment that kind of jumps out at me.
One of the tales that made it down here to Baton Rouge, and if anybody had heard it, you would have, is the year that they dealt Anthony Davis, to the Los Angeles Lakers. There was a big push for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys to get Sean Payton over to that organization, and Gale kind of shut it down and said, we can't lose Anthony Davis and Sean Payton in the same time period to this city. It would just be too devastating to the fan base. Was there any legs to that from your point of view? Did you ever hear that?
So again, I've heard all that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it was, my perspective is I don't know. I think sometimes you hear things and you think this is more real than certain things are just thrown out there. I don't know if that was ever real, to be honest with you. I mean, look, that was when Jerry Jones was looking for a coach a couple of years ago. You'll remember. I mean, the Saints, Breeze was still playing. The Saints were still at the height of their powers, coming off a 2018 season when they should have been in the Super Bowl, in a 2019 season when they finished second in the NFC. I just don't know if I ever really believed that, to be honest with you. I just felt like we've always heard about Dallas and Sean Payton. The one thing I would tell people about Dallas is this. I think Dallas would have been a very viable option for Sean Payton back in the 2010 to 2015 range. After he and his wife divorced and his children went to high school in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I think there was more of a lure for him to go back and quote-unquote shine that star, get the Cowboys back, and be closer to his children. But his daughter is now an adult now, out of college and living in the Los Angeles area, and his son is about to be finished college. So while there is still absolutely positively the luster of America's team in getting them back to their first Super Bowl since the Aikman era, and he has a great relationship with the Jones family, I just don't know if – I think all that Dallas talk was just talk. Once his daughter got to college and his kids got older, I think initially that would have been real. Back in 2010 when we heard about it, if Jerry fires Jason Garrett, 11, 12, 13, any of that time window, I believe the Dallas stuff. In recent years, I have not paid much attention to the Dallas stuff because more people that I trust tell me don't pay attention to that. That is not real. That is kind of a creation of people's imagination, be it agents, media, or people that just want to see it happen that are trying to speak it into existence.
That's a cool 25 minutes with Fletcher Mackel there, telling stories about covering Sean Payton and what it's been like the last 16 season from somebody who loves the city, knows the city, and knows the Saints organization and has been covering it for WDSU. You can follow him on Twitter to keep up with everything going on at Fletcher WDSU. We'll be checking in again soon, man, to keep up. Thank you as always.
Thank you, and damn, I talk a lot. 25 minutes.
No, we got you. We're locked in.
That's why we got you. Great storyteller. Thank you, man.
All right.
It's in the right profession.
Yeah, he is.
For real, right?
Fletcher Mackel. The Mackel mane. You ever seen that head of hair on him and his brother?
Oh, I thought you were about like Mac Maine.
No, him and his brother have, I think they started a Twitter account around because he's got a twin brother,
About
Travers. Travers and Fletcher. Is there any more New
How
Orleanians
New Orleans is that?
than Fletcher and Travers Mackel? They both work for WDSU. One covers news, one covers sports, and they've got a head of hair that would make anybody jealous.
And they have a Twitter account about their head of hair?
And there is a Twitter account that started
Well,
called
you got
the
great
Mackel
lettuce.
Maine, at Mackel Maine.
Needs to come down just a little bit. The forehead eats me up. Wait,
There should be a hairdresser out there that would look at you as some type of project.
Absolutely.
Some
It's
type
like
of
the canvas.
House of
some type
Eggy.
of promotional project.
House of Eggy.
I trust my guy over there, Garrett Neal. He's been doing me right. Yeah, I came to him with the mullet idea. He's like, "Are you sure about this?" I was like, "I trust you." Came out pretty good. So
He did?
Still ride with my
He's
guy.
crushed
but
it.
Yeah. But
He's crushed it.
I love
always
it.
open for a new opportunity. You know,
The cow lick,
let 'em all
the
cut
cow
it.
lick is a good look up
Yeah,
front.
see, I don't know how to play it. You know,
No, you do
Sometimes-
good, yeah.
sometimes
You don't
it's a
even.
disaster.
You just wake up and go. You don't
That's
do
exactly
anything
what-
with it,
that's
so it's
exactly
fine.
what I do.
Sometimes he slicks it all the way back.
Yeah,
there.
because I try to battle the lick.
You
know,
ever
I don't want
have you
it
ever
to
put it in a
be-
ponytail?
Oh, there was a time where I could do two ponytails, one up here and one back here.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that
that's
was
not
a
good.
look.
That's
That
not
was a
good.
look.
Yeah, I bet that was.
Well, that's just for the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Just for the gym.
Are you a headband guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to
be.
Oh, yeah, do a headband. I haven't seen you in a headband.
Well, when would
Like
you
the-
have? I
like
don't just
the-
wear them around town.
Like
Why
the
not?
normal headbands, like not the small skinny ones. I'm talking about like the
I
actual
got the
like,
Nike Dry Fit tie up.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
Ninja.
see that.
the
Let's
Ninja
see that.
band.
Yeah, yeah.
You have it on you?
You better be a player,
the
bro.
Rafael Nadal.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
I want to see that
I
look.
wish they wouldn't have banned those in the NBA.
I know. I loved it.
Why did they ban them?
No.
Because people could grab them. But I mean,
Oh.
I mean that's
Yeah,
just
what is that?
that's
People
a
can grab a lot of
conversation.
things.
That's right. That's
That
right,
is
Katie.
true.
That's
You
very
two,
true.
you two. Yeesh. I mean, giggling over here like little schoolgirls during
It's not our
interviews.
fault.
It's not our fault. We're
not
like
mine.
mind gutter soulmates.
Yeah.
We can't help
Yeah.
it. Even when I'm not with Lloyd, something happens. I'm like, Lloyd. I just text Lloyd.
But yeah, she's listened to She's listened to NFL calls entirely differently
I
now.
know.
A lot of penetration talk, I hear.
Oh,
She's
boy.
like, Rebecca does the same thing. She's like, "What are they talking about?" I was like, "That's just the only way."
Gotta
you
hit the hole.
Yes, it's really the only way you
Man,
can
what do you want him to
describe
do?
it. Yeah. I don't think you've seen a hole that big all week. It's like, God Lord, Joe Buck, calm down. Man.
There are 2 holes.
Yeah,
Maybe 3.
Oh man.
You hit the wrong one.
Hit the wrong
Should have
one.
bounced it outside. Or at least hit the back.
These holes never work this time of month.
Appreciate Fletcher Mackel. Appreciate Will Wade and to Ben Mintz. Huge day tomorrow with sports gaming.
Ooh, I
and
can't
mobile.
wait. I already logged.
We're going to make bets on air?
already signed up.
I
already got the app
on our phone.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Unbelievable.
This would be the opportunity for y'all to teach me how to bet.
Oh, it's perfect. Perfect. We can show you how to do it.
Sounds like a segment.
Show you how to do it.
I think I'll be good.
I already got the app.
You link your credit card to my account.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
idea.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'll just do that.
He'll bet your money, give you the money, but he gets
Yes.
you just go 50-50.
Yes.
It's just like Daniel Newman. Same thing.
Tease
just
this thing up.
investing. Yeah. Trust me with your money. Let's see the return.
All right, have a great day. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button. We appreciate you being here on this Thursday morning. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning celebrating sports gaming. Remember, get over to Relief Med, RELEAF med.com, and pick up your recommendation for medical marijuana, which is legalized now here in the state of Louisiana. When we get off, we're all giving Google reviews to Relief Med. If you have used Relief Med, make sure you drop your Google review. That helps them out tremendously. Noah, open it up.
I did get the text from the Relief Med guy that says your time is coming. So I think it seems like it might be on the way.
Your time is now, Lloyd.
Time is now.
What is your time? What's going to happen with you?
Maybe the little marijuana reviews. Maybe a little Relief Med reviews.
Get some nugs.
You and Mayo.
Get some nugs.
Great content for you and Mayo.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Gotta get our guy at the city.
We gotta get him out.
You gotta get your mind right.
That's right.
It's
right now.
We're going to start some blogging with Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave us a couple
Big
of
writer.
good tidbits.
Do you write?
Big writer.
I did back in the day.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
That's
you?
how I started. A little high school, 4th and Courtney, me and Sean.
Wow.
Did a blog.
Oh, really?
4th and Courtney. Yeah,
That is so cute.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. But we tried.
What did you write about? Sports? Just all sports?
No, politics.
Well, I don't know if you were trying to do like pop culture in sports or just sports or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we tried to blend it together a little bit. We gave it a little gambling.
Don't come at me like that ever again, okay?
Welcome. Now we're working together. This is how it happens, dude.
Wow. First one. You'll always remember your first.
Yeah, exactly. Jordy and I were in here telling each other to fuck off the other day. It's like, all right, Mom and Dad got in a fight. Watch out.
I just start sweating. And
I understand it, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure it out.
I hear you, but I don't give a fuck.
Oh my gosh.
It's all love, Noah.
Yeah. This is what happens when you're family.
Have a great Thursday.
Family.
Have a great Thursday. Hit that like, share, family.
Fam.
As we'll be here with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Did you ever come at me like that again? Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Oh, boy.
Let's get some bets in tomorrow.